What's up, Gacha gang? Kawaii50 here with another FGO video, here to talk to you about the ultimate bro of bros, Iskandar, King of Conquerors. If this video helps you out, be sure to go ahead and leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you want to see when I am putting up some more content. Let's talk about this man. Iskandar's overall stats are pretty beefy, which makes sense given his gigantic, manly physique. He's got 13,219 HP at max level, which is solid. Also, his 11,560 max attack. Solid. He's a rider, of course, so expect massive star absorption for massive gains. His NP per hit is fine, especially considering his arts cards have 2 hits. It ends up being overall okay. And his deck, those 2 arts cards I mentioned, a quick card, 2 buster cards, and of course his buster noble Phantasm. So yes, this man can brave chain. Iskandar's first skill helps all potential recruits in his army, and that is Charisma rank A, increasing all of his allies' attack by 10 to 20% for 3 turns. This is just a generally good, solid attack boost that anyone can benefit from. There's really not a lot more I can say about it. I'd go ahead and max this in tandem with his second skill so you can get sort of the overall best damage increases for your buck with him. I'm not even going to mention his passive skills, so that is why I skipped them. Yeah, max this second. Iskandar's second skill gets a rank up that hasn't quite hit NA yet, but when it does, the skill's going to become far, far better. So I'm just going to talk about the upgraded version. Subjugation Strategy rank A increases the NP strength of all allies by 10 to 20% for 3 turns, and also increases the critical strength of all allies by 20 to 30% for 3 turns. Now, this is the main reason that we want to end up leveling these skills in tandem, because once this skill ends up unlocking, that is going to be a pretty huge boost for the entire squad for 3 turns. 20% attack, 20% MP damage, and 30% crit damage means there's going to be a time where your team is firing out some very, very beefy hits. So yeah, max this second along with Charisma. You will be happy that you did. And Iskandar's final skill and his biggest personal DPS increase is Lightning Conqueror rank EX. It increases his buster card effectiveness by 30 to 50% and his crit star drop rate by 50%. This only happens for 1 turn, and the reason you want to level this up first is twofold. First, yes, Iskandar can brave chain, and he can buster brave chain at that, so that is very, very important. The second reason you kind of want to level this up first is due to wave clearing, and it has to do a lot with the way that Iskandar's Noble Phantasm ends up working and ends up handling hits. So let's just make sure that we got that knowledge in the bank, and I'll go into this more when we talk about his Noble Phantasm. So yeah, go ahead and max this first. So the main reason I'm talking up that third skill when it comes to Iskandar's Noble Phantasm is his Noble Phantasm's massive, massive hit counts. Yes, Iskandar's Noble Phantasm, Ionio Hetairoi, hits 8 times to all enemies, dealing 400 to 600% damage, reduces their defense by 10 to 30% for 3 turns, and reduces crit chance by 10 to 50% for 3 turns. Now, those reductions are all based on overcharge. So the main reason that I mention this is when you look at Iskandar's third skill, it increases his critical star generation rate by 50%. Now, the amount of stars you get on buster cards may seem substandard, but when you end up getting an overkill bonus on an opponent, the amount you gain back ends up going up exponentially. So with Noble Phantasms that end up hitting a lot, you're going to get some really, really good returns on that. So this is why we want to level Lightning Conqueror first. This is why we want to use Lightning Conqueror before Iskandar's Noble Phantasm every single time if possible. It's going to refund you those stars at a highly increased rate, and it's going to lead to Iskandar or your other servants overall dealing more damage. Friends, for the sake of time, I'm going to go over recommendations fairly quickly and not go into much depth, just because they're very, very simple when it comes to Iskandar. For your supporters, you want your general Buster type supporters. So your Nightingale, your Merlin, your Helena Blavatsky, whoever you've got to help him maximize that Buster card effectiveness and damage. When it comes to craft essences, also very simple. Give this man a starting NP gauge if you can. If you're farming, you can do no better than Kaleidoscope or the Imaginary Element. If you're using Iskandar for a more longer form set of quests, I've definitely got to highly recommend Aerial Drive. You get starter NP gauge, NP strength, and Buster card effectiveness. And if you're looking to maximize his high rider star weight, maybe you've got a great critical star generator on your team, you can give him Holy Night Supper to get that starter NP gauge, increased critical damage, and increased NP damage. Yeah, it's just that simple. When it comes to command codes, we want to straight up just increase Iskandar's NP damage as well as his critical damage. Da Vinci Chan is absolutely great for doing this. Yeah, you've got to sacrifice a card the very, very first time you use this, but it's going to grant his following NP on the second attack an extra 15% damage. I would recommend chucking this on your quick card. Then when you use Lightning Conqueror EX, that first quick card's effectiveness chain hits the Noble Phantasm and whatever card is after, and you are generating exponentially more stars. When it comes to arc criticals, it is just very, very simple, everyone. Let's go ahead and maximize that damage. Mistress of the Heavens is going to give Iskandar an extra 25% critical damage on the Buster card it is engraved on, and you can also go with the lower rarity Blades of Nintendo Raku to get a 20% damage boost. And if you're having issue funneling those stars to your arts cards so Iskandar can gain more NP off of those cards, I would definitely recommend something like Armament of Triumph on him, increase that critical star absorption, and have that card end up getting those stars you desperately need. You can also go with this 3-star variant easily, Immature Illusionary Command Seal, because this is for arts cards specifically, but still provides the same bonus. My friends, just like how he is in the story, when it comes to being a character in FGO, Iskandar is a man that knows what he wants and puts his all into doing that thing he wants. What does he want to do in FGO? He wants to be a Buster crit servant, and he wants to deal big, meaty Buster damage. And he does it. His kit, after all of his buffs, really ends up doing just that. My one big complaint with him is I kinda wish he had some sort of NP steroid on his cards, so even if you don't have a max limit broken Kaleidoscope, he could NP turn 1. But that complaint, a lot of servants have that, so let's not even super worry about that. If you're looking for a solid Buster damage dealer, if you are looking for a servant who is straightforward but effective, you honestly cannot go wrong with Iskandar. The man's not gonna loop like Achilles, but he is still gonna get the job done. And those are my thoughts on Iskandar, the King of Conquerors. Go ahead and let me know any of your thoughts down below about this absolute bro of bros. Let me know if there are any specific servants you personally are using with this man. I'd like to know about that. And as always, if you pulled him in the gacha, definitely show him off. Let everybody know down in those comments. This is Kawaii50 again. If you like the job I'm doing here, be sure to check me out on Patreon, and if you want to talk more video games, the Discord is always open to all of you. Have a phenomenal day, and I'll see y'all in the next video.